Alright, so we are now in the beginning stages of our second playthrough of Avowed, and one of the things I mentioned that I really loved about the first game, about my first playthrough, was the verticality and the parkour system. And this is the perfect segue into the discussion on comparison is the thief of joy, because we've been having a ton of people on my reviews and in live streams come in here and want to know about what about the comparisons between this game and Skyrim slash Oblivion slash insert other RPGs here. And the reality is that comparison is the thief of joy. If you're constantly comparing something now to something that you played before or something that you enjoyed from a previous time period, you're never going to be able to enjoy games like Avowed for what they are. What Avowed brings to the table is something that is similar to other RPGs that have come before, similar to other things that Obsidian has done before, like the Outer Worlds. Also similar to the previous two Pillars of Eternity games with the lore and the magic system and so on and so forth. But also they do things quite different than other RPGs. We have your third person or first person system here, which is cool, but the parkour system, as an example, I see a lot of people will say things like, but Obsidian had this, that, or the other, and Avowed doesn't. Skyrim had this, that, or the other, but Avowed doesn't. Well, guess what? Neither one of those games has a parkour system. Oh, snap. What? Now, I love Bethesda games. I am a staunch supporter of Bethesda games, including 2 different playthroughs of Starfield, which I absolutely love as a game. And I think that the important thing is when you're playing a game is that you celebrate the game for what it is. You find enjoyment in what it is. Because if you're constantly trying to compare things to other things, you're never going to be happy. It's kind of like, let's say you're married or you have a significant other. If you're always comparing your significant other to your past exes, that's not very healthy. It also doesn't make your current relationship, that person, feel very good. And if you're always comparing your present relationship to your past relationships, you're never going to find the joy in your current relationship. So you need to be finding the joy in what you're playing now and look for the things that are unique in the game that you're currently playing. You know what else is unique to Avowed that Skyrim and Oblivion don't do? As an example, what's up, United? Hopefully you're doing well. This is a carryover from the first 2 Pillars of Eternity games. I actually don't have one on me right now to show you guys. This game has pistols and rifles, which those games don't have. Those are fantasy RPGs, but they don't have pistols and rifles. Why not? Are those inferior games because they don't have pistols and rifles? Are those inferior games because they don't offer a parkour system like this game does? No. They offer different systems, and we should enjoy those systems for what they are, unique to those games. It's kind of like someone made the comment on one of my videos that he said playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is like eating carne asada, while playing Avowed feels like I'm going to a cafeteria and eating crappy cafeteria pizza. And I went, whoa, 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 hold on a minute. Some of us quite enjoy cafeteria pizza. Some of us enjoy all types of food equally. Some of us enjoy cafeteria pizza as much as we enjoy carne asada, as much as we enjoy hamburgers and french fries, as much as we enjoy any sort of street tacos or guisos. The fact of the matter is, when we're talking about video games, I don't want my video games to all be carbon copies of each other. I want my games to be different. I want them to celebrate the things they do differently. I love the fact that I can dual wield wands in this game and pew pew pew. I can dual wield pistols in this game. I can wield a pistol and a wand. I can wield a wand and a dagger. I can wield a shield and a dagger, a shield and a wand, a grimoire and a wand, a grimoire and a pistol. I can do so many different combinations of weapons. Can I do all of those combinations of weapons in Skyrim or Oblivion? No. Nor do I care that I can't do these things in other games because I want to celebrate this game for what it is. So I'm very happy that when we've seen people trying to come in and say, oh, this game isn't like those games, and it sucks because of that. We've had people in the commentary who have been like, no, hang on a second, that's not true. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I've been very happy to see that commentary taking place, because we have a really strong community who are here to celebrate games and celebrate the uniqueness of games rather than constantly trying to compare them to something else. That's also one of the reasons why you see a lot of reviewers have a hard time finding enjoyments in the games they play, because they're never able to accept the games for what they are. They're constantly trying to compare these games to other games. I saw one reviewer, who we're not going to mention any names today, one of the first things they talked about in their review for Avowed, they were talking about how they didn't enjoy this game because it wasn't what they wanted it to be. Literally, the words that came out of their mouth was, Avowed wasn't what I wanted it to be, therefore I couldn't find enjoyment in it. Well, that's a you problem, not a me problem, because the game developers had a very clear vision in mind when they made this game. They fulfilled that vision. It didn't match your vision, so you didn't like the game? Okay, you're completely within your rights to not like a game, but you can't claim that just because you didn't like something that it's a bad game, especially if you're coming at it from the angle of, I wanted it to be something it wasn't, therefore I'm upset with it. You should be celebrating this for what it is rather than trying to force it to be something that it's not. And I think it just comes down to, like you said, yeah, Great Cat Tales says, I like games for their differences as much as what they have in common. So when I'm playing Avowed as an example, I can rest easy in knowing that there are a few things that are going to give me creature comforts, right? There's a good magic system in place, which I recognize from other RPGs, but it's also a unique magic system that Pillars of Eternity brought over from their previous two games, that Obsidian brought over from the two previous Pillars of Eternity games. I love the fact that I have pistols, which is something very unique to Pillars of Eternity compared to other fantasy RPGs that don't offer, aka Oblivion and Skyrim, which only have fantasy magic and ranged weapons like bows. Here I have the option to be like a literal pirateer, and having, a pistol build, as well as, do I need to jump over here, by the way? I don't think there's anything up there that I want. So there's comfort in things like the magic system, which is familiar, yet unique. There's comfort in things like having familiar races, like dwarves and elves. But there's also the uniqueness of, as an example, for once we have dwarves who don't have a Scottish accent like they're from the Highlands of Scotland. Instead, we get dwarves who have a Russian accent because they're putting their own unique spin on the dwarves in Avowed. Also, we have the different types of elves and how they function within society. Joe says, my favorite comparison with Oblivion and Skyrim were about some things that were horrible in those. For example, the prop physics where you could knock things off table, and I used to hate that, where every time you hit a table, things flew everywhere every time. Right. There are lots of things I think that it's great to look at that are similarities that we can relish in. But at the end of the day, I don't want my games to be carbon copies of each other. I want the games to be different and unique and played differently and unique. That way we get different experiences every time we play, so that we can have the difference between By the way, there's a weird audio with him. This is our second playthrough. We did not get that audio with him on the first playthrough, so that's really weird. And it's only when he speaks, so that's kind of funky and quirky as we've been going through here. I don't know why my phone is ringing. Let me turn that off. Someone was saying the other day that one of the reasons they hate this game was because you can't kill NPCs. And I was like, you can't kill NPCs in God of War. You can't kill NPCs in Horizon Forbidden Dawn, Forbidden West, whatever it's called. There are a million games that you can't kill NPCs in. Why do you need to kill NPCs to have enjoyment in an RPG? That's another one of those things where it's like, if you're constantly looking for things that you're trying to compare it to, comparison is the thief of joy. You're never going to find the things to celebrate that are fun about the game. So my suggestion to everybody is just have fun. Play the games, everybody. Enjoy them for what they are. Get out there, play more games. There are lots of games that get released. There are thousands of games that release every single year, and all of them have their own unique little things that they do that are worth celebrating, as opposed to trying to compare them all the time to other things and being unhappy that this game didn't do what I wanted it to do. So, get over it. I'm glad it didn't do what other games did. I don't want it to do the things other games did. I want my games to be unique. I don't want to play Call of Duty every single time I play a shooter. I don't want to play Skyrim every time I play an RPG. I don't want to play, I don't want to play Fallout every time I play like something that is apocalyptic. I don't want to play something that's, steampunk every time, etc., etc., etc. Celebrate the games for what they are, kids. You'll get way more enjoyment out of games that way. You'll be happier as a gamer. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams, 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning on YouTube and Twitch. And in between, we do secondary streams like this one.